said, it says no more than 3 units of the same type. And what caught the Lisbon players out is that mixed unit skink proxcore unit is still the same unit, the same core troop type as a small 10-man chaff unit of skink cohorts. And of course, no other tournament plays it that way. Generally, they classify it, if you've got more than 20 models, you're out of, the general
chaff
don't
cohorts
take too much chaff.
Yeah.
So they got caught out, and a lot of Lisbon player just lost 20. They basically got an extra 20-0. They lost 20 tournament points.
Yeah.
I know Ben Diesel from the Black Dice.
Yeah.
Black Sun.
Yeah.
He lost 20 points because he had 4 units of Noblars, and everyone knows that 4 units of Noblars game breaking.
Oh yeah, massive.
But of course, it's because he had 2 normal units, I think, and 2 units of T-Rapers or Trappers, and you forget that in the new book that's the same unit entry.
Yeah.
But they stuck to it. But I think the problem was Sammy Michael had an issue where he submitted an illegal list, saw it himself 2 days before the event, revised his list and sent it in. Asked Will, "Is this okay, Will?" And Will said, "Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll overlook it." And then and what they did is the start of Game 6 put out an announcement on the loudspeakers for various people to come up to the registration list, and they were told basically they just got a 20-0.
Yeah.
And that is not what you want.
Just before us, just before. Oh, well, being 20-0'd.
Yeah, it's just going. Actually, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. And then Sammy, bless him, after this, he was just like, you know what, I feel a bit crap now from this, and he had a bit of a rubbish game after.
Well, your head's just not anyone's point. You've just been 20-0. So if you're trying to gun for top place, I bet Ben Diesel was on table 4-5.
Yeah, and he's out of the running for it.
And he was told, pushing, doing your best in your last round to try and get a podium place.
Yeah.
And you just get told, nah, mate.
No,
you're just 20-0. So that was a bit. That
thing is, I understand that maybe having something like you're deducted 5 points is still a big deal, because 5 points can be the difference between you coming first and not getting a podium at all.
Yeah,
but 20-0
is too much.
That's an entire game's worth of points just gone.
Yeah,
it's just silly.
I mean, again, it's too much.
I think I would.
I think it was clear. Maybe not that it was a 20-0, but it did say in the rules, like if you submit an illegal list or a late list, you will get a hefty tournament fine.
Yeah.
And they stuck to it. So
yeah,
I think,
fair enough.
You have to be strict in these tournaments, especially as an organizer when there's more than 100 people.
And so, imagine going through all those lists. I can imagine that being such a ball ache.
And the amount of effort that you put into the player packs. So you have to make sure that they're in on time and they're all good, so you can just get on with it. So I just wanted to mention that one, I think.
So yeah, food.
Food. So food on Saturday. There has been. I mean, some people do complain that if there's a buffet, people just stuff their face. So what it was on Saturday is on each table. Nom food gamers. We're all big. Well, James he's an annoying 6-pack kind of guy, not squishy at all. But so the big tables downstairs near the bar, and there was platters set out, and a set number of people, spaces, 12 spaces or whatever around the table, said this is how many people are there, to make sure there was a fair amount of food, and a strict lunch starts at 12:10. That is when you can start eating.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah.
But it was kind of odd. We were sat around the table, and then at some point, someone from Marshall comes in. Actually, no, mate, there's only food for 8 people here.
Yeah.
And so, people were socialising over the weekend. So, is there a space at your table? Can I sit down? And you go, no, you cannot. You will eat our food. This is our food. It
was even weirder when people just sat down, because obviously they saw a space. They didn't ask. They just sat down. And you'd be like,
oh no, this is our food.
No.
So, yeah, the cold buffet was okay.
Yeah, I'm normally quite happy with the buffets. I find I quite like the stodginess
on the
first day.
But for the first day, especially when you're drinking, first day, you tend to be drinking a lot. I quite like
does well for that.
So today, Sunday, our lunch, I quite liked it. What did you think? We haven't actually spoken about this yet. I like the lunch.
Baked potato, curry.
Well, no, you have the option between baked potato with baked beans and shit.
Yeah.
And shit,
yes.
Not literally.
And the curry as well.
And a fairly decent curry, to be honest with you. And I thought that was quite good.
I think a hot meal is always nice to have as well.
Decent.
Yeah. It was fine. Well, was there quite a lot of complaints about it?
No. Beforehand, in the but we've spoken about that already.
Yeah.
But I think the quality of the food was generally quite okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we go on to the overall standings.
So overall standings.
Now, as we mentioned before, ETC comp is railing on some armies. Now, going into round 6, what we're talking about, I off the top of my head, the top 7. Okay, the top 7 players going into round 6. Ogres. So top 2 tables, Ogres. After that it went Lizardmen, Skaven, and then and then a couple of other armies, and the last one in the top 10 was, I think, a Lizardman.
Yeah.
That should say it all.
Yeah, there's just I don't know what it is, because the thing is, you put Ogres down on paper, they're good, they're obviously very good, but you think there's things that you can beat them. Like I find when I play Ogres, it's a complete mashup.
I want Ogres. Why will no one give me Ogres?
Yeah, like me and Nick seem to be quite. Or if we get Ogres, we're just sort of happy with that, because we just sort of shoot them off the board, I guess.
Just shoot them off, tree man them off.
Yeah,
just hammer them off. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Just do stuff like that. But they are just dominating the tournament scene at the moment. And
it's an easy army to use in the first place.
Push it forward!
They get away with murder in this comp.
Yeah.
And so if you take an easy army that isn't nerfed by comp in a very heavy comp situation and put it in the hands of good players,
yeah,
what you're going to do. It's ridiculous, but it's their deal with it, kind of thing. I'm pretty sure after the actual ETC in Poland, there will be a massive backlash. It'll be like Dark Elves basically, and for the next year, Ogres just will be crippled.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a funny one though, because I suppose they'll do it where you can have like 0 to 1 Iron Blasters, maybe.
Well, it's already 0-1 Iron Blasters.
0-1 Iron Blasters. But what else can you comp? Maybe not allowing such a large gut star, because that can be a bit of a bitch for some armies.
You're comping core.
Exactly, that's the problem. But that's the problem. That's what I'm saying, because it's like you can comp Mournfang.
It's inherent in the army book.
The thing is, you can comp Mournfang, but it's sort of a stable for the army, I guess.
All armies can do it, but the thing is, it goes with the theme of the Ogres. I mean, you've got your level 4, but it has 5 wounds, toughness 5, and can fight, but that's because it's a fucking ogre.
Yeah.
Games Workshop made the decision to make a whole ogre army, and they ran with it, and it's reached its inevitable conclusion.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anything, it could swing either way for that. I reckon it could. I reckon they probably will be quite heavily comped, but I don't know how. They'll do it.
Yeah. But anyway, so a bit telling there. So in third, so can't remember names exactly. I apologise, but second and third place were taken by James.
Ogres.
That's right. Second and third place Ogres. So there's a surprise.
Yeah, and then we've got Ben Johnson for first place.
Ben Johnson and Skaven took out first place. So after winning the South Coast GT,
he's rocking on.
He's still going on. Took the Call to Arms. So far the 2 biggest events of the year, I think. Maybe the Sheffield Slaughter was a bit bigger, but
maybe. But that's far away. That's far, I don't care.
Fair play to the man. If you can win major tournaments with Skaven, I mean, I know they're filthy army to play.
Yeah.
But
the thing is that the theory,
but you have to keep them going for 6 games.
Well, there's always the theory that you have 4 games that are like, if you the kind of a lot of averages.
Yeah.
You have 4 games which should average. Then you have 1 game that's amazing. You blast everything off the board. And then you have 1 really shit game.
Where
generally
everything fucks up.
Yeah. So basically, if you put that into like, if you're saying that happens to every Skaven player, then you won't win a tournament like that. So he's doing something, he's just consistently playing them well, and he's not letting the Skaven randomness affect him so much. So
I don't know how he does it, but
I think it's knowing when to use your stuff, isn't it? It's like, I've got my Plague Wind Mortar. Do I really need to fire it? No. Am I winning, or do I really need to get rid of something? No. So maybe I just won't. Yeah. It's doing stuff like that, and I think he just does that very well. Yeah, but yeah, he's doing good. So, you know, he's probably hitting top rankings 1.
Yeah.
Place 1 in the rankings.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, no, he'll be
well,
on the way
that's
to
200 points already. So
yeah, he's on the way to that.
can he get a full 400 this year?
Well, we got another half a year.
We're halfway through. He's got 200 already.
Yeah.
Can he get a perfect 400?
Who knows? I think if he's beating these ogre armies and that's what's going to be paid a lot, then I'm guessing he probably could. He knows how to deal with them. So.
But anyway, right. Final placings for us, and then we can wrap this up.
Yeah.
Where did you come, James?
64. Not
64
good.
out of a field of 106.
Yeah, it was no
So
South
just
Coast.
under halfway.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? I mean, you just have tournaments like that.
I'll go over it in the games, but I found that half my matchups were bad, half of them were no, 2 of them were good, and then I was thinking playing Wood Elves. It's iffy.
Basically,
it's iffy. Either I shoot him off or he shoots me off. So you know.
I'm sure you'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will go
I'm
for
sure
that.
you have talked about it a bit more in your game.
Yeah.
Time travel. I came a mighty 51st, if I remember correctly.
51st, yeah.
Which is okay. I'm just slap bang middle. I wanted top 3rd, but you know, given a couple of the matchups, which I'm sure I'll have ranted about already, you know, I did okay. 3 wins, 2 losses, heavy losses, and a draw. You know, at least I'm now consistently winning more than I lose. A draw doesn't count as a loss, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we both are. Oh no, I'm half. I was half
You're
on this
half,
one. I was half,
I mean,
which is fine. For considering I didn't play them as well as I could have done. Half I was.
I
fine
really
with.
just won a big tournament where I have good matchups.
Yeah.
I just haven't had one where, you know, if you want to win a big tournament, or you know, not win, but you know, want to place in the top 10, top 20 in a massive tournament with what else? You have to get the right matchups.
Yeah,
and at the moment, it's just not happening for me. I'm sure it will.
I've got to make a little comment on that though. With my position, it meant that there was one other dwarf player ahead of me, and he was beating me by 3 points. So if I got those 4 points for basing, I would have been 1 point ahead of him and got best dwarf player.
Well, yeah, I mean, same for me. I had 1 more tournament point than Tom.
Yeah.
That would be Tom Richards, or at TMA Richards, or TMA Richards YouTube channel. A little plug there.
Sneaky plug.
I had 1 tournament point more than him, but because he's not a fucktard like me, he had all his moving trays. So those 2 painting points I lost meant that I was actually 5 places below him in the final standings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it pays to read your rule pack carefully and do it.
Yeah. In all fairness though, against the other dwarf player, he was in the top tables pretty much the entire tournament. He deserved to win it. He no doubt that he deserved to win. He's a nice guy as well, so yeah, good on him. I'll need to get the names for that at some point.
So, final verdict. Positives outweigh the few I know we've gone on about negatives a bit, but you know,
it's always the way though. It's always the way.
Stress enough. Like, brilliant tournament.
Yeah, really
especially
good.
I've been to a couple of dodgy ones down in Brighton where a bit shoddy, but you know, does put on a great event. There was a raffle. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
charity raffle.
Yeah, that was
towards
good.
his charity, the Royal Trust, I think it was.
They sold cakes as well for charity.
They had lots of stuff. So basically, the positives outweighed the negatives, and I had a cracking weekend.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
if you get a chance to go there next year, Call to War, run by Will Goodwin, or any of his events coming up, go there.
Also, just a quick little plug thing. I've got an interview with Gareth from the Bad Dice podcast. So I don't know if that's actually going to be on their main show. But then you might hear me nattering away, talking about a couple of games, the tournament feelings.
On your way to internet celebrity and fame. First comes the YouTube, then comes the podcast, then step 1,
then
YouTube.
the world.
Was it step 1 YouTube, step 2 3 profit?
So yeah, that's it might be on the main show. I don't know. They'll probably do it on Snake Eyes.
So
But,
yeah, that's our little plug there. So guys, watch out for the other plug, Tom Richards reports. There'll be a couple on there. Night night, James.
Night, James.
Right, from us here in the Eurocar and Outriders Gaming, I will say goodbye.
And goodbye.